I am here today at Kalen Sports in Romeoville to take you through some Flyers hockey.
Puck is dropped and we are underway.
We're going to compete and we're going to bat. We have to compete all three periods.
Flyers came out hot. The Flyers to an early lead. Zone shot, he scores!
The culture that they have there is pretty special.
Really happy to be back and excited for a season of had of great hockey.
Shot, rebound, scores!
They're creating their own energy. The energy has totally changed.
Batted that puck out of the air. Big shot, another shot. He goes upstairs.
The whole building is buzzing.
And a big save! Four-inch shot, rebound, scores! Oh my goodness, what a play!
We want to play as a unit.
You can see the joy and excitement on the faces of the Flyers players. We're equally as excited here in the broadcast booth.
Great hockey being played
At Camlin this weekend.
What a goal for the Louis Flyers! Welcome inside Kalen Sports in Romeoville. We welcome you to the Louis University Television Network. My name is Logan Kapp, here today to bring you some Flyers hockey as they take on the visiting Illinois State Redbirds. We're so excited for Flyers hockey to be back. We've got a capacity crowd here in Romeoville. We're going to be getting going here in just a couple minutes right after the national anthem. Louis Flyers are coming off a couple tough games against Division I NIU as part of their Battle of the Plains Tournament Cup that they compete for each and every year. They played both of those up north, up at the Leaf Center at the Huskies home rink, and they ended up losing both of those. So they'll be looking to snap that losing streak. On the other side of the ice, the Redbirds coming off a couple big wins against the University of Illinois Fighting Illini. So each team having something to play for here at Kalen this afternoon. This is the first time we've been seeing the Redbirds at Kalen in my entirety of me calling Flyers hockey. So I'm excited to see some new teams here. We've got a very exciting season of Flyers hockey ahead. Flyers have been doing work this offseason, recruiting. Head coach Jim Swire, we talked to him on the Louis Hockey Podcast, and he's been telling us all about all these new guys he's been bringing in. Some guys from Canadian juniors, Caleb Pramek, a guy that we're going to be wanting to watch today in the Louis Flyers uniform. He is coming from the Chase Heat of the KIJHL, having a great season up there. We actually got to talk to him on the podcast in the spring. If you haven't heard that episode of the Louis Hockey Podcast, go and check it out right now. We have a couple other new guys. Adrian Abram was coming from playing USPHL juniors down in Texas. He's another local kid from Orland Park. Was playing Central States hockey for the Vikings at Arctic before going down there to play some junior hockey, and we're super excited to see him in the Flyers uniform this year. As a finance major. It looks like they're just getting the nuts out. Another big update for Louis Flyers hockey this year. This is the first year bringing back the Division III ACHA team. We had them back towards the end of the 2010s. I believe it was 2017, 2018, when the Louis Flyers had two hockey teams. And we're super excited to see them back and competing. They've already had a couple games this season. They had a road trip out to Nebraska and have played a couple home games as well. Both teams back in training camp week had a couple scrimmages against the Chicago Crush USPHL junior teams, against the Premier and the Elite teams respectively. those ended up doing pretty well. It gave head coach of Flyers hockey, Jim Swoyer, some ideas of what he has to work with this season with his team. And just like that, the teams are retaking the ice surface. So we will be back with you after the singing of the national anthem for period one. You're watching Flyers hockey right here on the Lewis University Television Network. All right, welcome back to Lewis University Television Network for period one of Flyers hockey. After that beautiful rendition of America's song, we're excited to see college hockey back here at Camlin. It's been too long. I was trying to remember when the last time we saw Flyers hockey was. I think that was all the way back in February, 10 months ago. Needless to say, been jittering in my skates all week long in anticipation. That being said, starting goaltenders to my right-hand side in the beautiful slate black ISU jerseys. Michael Leonard, one of the captains for the Redbirds this season, has been playing for ISU for a couple years, all 4 years in fact. First 2 years he spent split with the D1 team. Leonard, very familiar with playing top-level college hockey for the Redbirds. To my right-hand side, the big man, Big Z, Sam Zagat, is starting in net for the Lewis Flyers. Here comes Caden Ulmer into the ISU zone. On his forehand, throws one on net, and that one's patted aside by Leonard. Up the left wing side, here comes the Redbirds. Techman into the zone all alone. He shoots, and a big save by Zagat. Flyers turn it over. A snapshot is blocked by Braden Ricci, who was down on one knee, ready for it. Now here's Bochenek. His shot rings all the way around the glass and is kept in on the point momentarily, but Strobe is forced back out of the zone. Strobe will leave it off. A shot from the top of the circles, a cross-ice pass rather, was just out of the reach of Landon Hansley. Ernsting now up the right wing side, tried a centering pass, but it was blocked. And now ISU controls in their own zone. 86 in white. You saw him buzzing around right there. He'll be another one to watch. He's been a staple of Flyers hockey for the past 3 years. That's Scotty Ernsting, one of the many Ernsting brothers. Before him, Matt was on the team. You saw him right there fight through a couple sticks and throw the puck over to Logan Pickens, who's now in behind the net. Glad to have him back on the team as well. Logan Pickens, a fifth year for the Lewis Flyers, has been a constant producer on the offensive side of things. Back to play it, Leonard turned it over. Near side, Josh David, one of the Canadians, corralled that puck for the Lewis Flyers. Stump tried to poke it ahead. It was unsuccessful. Back the other way comes Kowalczyk. Battles through a couple sticks from the Lewis Flyers, but could not maintain possession. Big key to the game for the Lewis Flyers today will be get off to a quick start. They've had a couple opportunities to play in game situations against NIU already, but both of those losses for the Lewis Flyers came down to the last minute. The first one was an overtime loss. The second one came down to the last couple minutes where they got scored on by a couple empty netters. So if they can take this lead early in this hockey game, they can play with that throughout the course of the game, as Sam Zagat is able to catch that one with a big catching glove and force a stoppage of play, and we'll see a face-off to his right wing side. 17:02 left to go in period number one here at Camlin. Face-off one back to Montalvo, who sent it across. Ricci clears it up the far side boards, and it will squeak all the way out into the Redbird end. No icing on the play. Ethan Ropaz moving fast, along with Captain Brian Gutt, who has been making a splash on campus. He's the face of Flyers hockey this year, I more or less like to say. It's on all the posters all over campus in Romeoville. Up the left wing side, here comes Peterson. His shot is soaked up by Sam Zagat, and he holds on. 16-17 left to go here in period one. We actually got the chance to talk to Sam Zagat. We've only had 3 episodes of the Lewis Hockey Podcast this season, but one of our guests, we were lucky enough to get him on and talk about some of his pregame routine and some of his end goals of playing pro hockey. He wants to continue his hockey career after he's done here at Lewis. And you got to commend that. Turnover, Logan Pickens with a drive, and that was blocked by Techman, who was down in front on one knee. Best opportunity of the game thus far for the Lewis Flyers, who have been controlling pace of play early here in period one. That pass was just out of the reach of Alex Fronte, and so it trickles all the way down past the Redbird goal line. In the offensive zone, Troy Nail wasn't quite there after that line change. He's another one who came from one of the local junior teams, the Chicago Crush, is where Troy Nail hails from. Getting used to the pace of play of ACHA hockey, and that crushed team. A turnover. Here's Logan Stumpf to the zone. Big shot is turned aside by Michael Leonard. Somehow the Redbirds let number 8 in white squeak through. Not a guy you want to be in all alone. Logan Stumpf, one of the goal leaders last year for the Lewis Flyers, really knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. He's got it below the goal line now. Stumpf to the point. Here's Steck. Walks it to the middle. His shot is blocked. Hit a knee. Here's David now. Below the goal line. Centering pass. He finds Stumpf, and a shot goes right into the glove of Leonard. And the Flyers are in the driver's seat with 14:50 left to go in period number 1. A barrage of scoring chances for the Lewis Flyers on that shift. Josh David facilitating a lot of those with his line mate Logan Stumpf. Stumpf in between the two Canadians is one really powerhouse of a line for the Lewis Flyers. Here's Scotty Ernsting. A pass across to Ricci is forced behind the net. Pickens has it. It's poked away, and Noah Freezing is able to force it out of the zone. Here come the Redbirds. A drop pass was poked away by Ernsting, and Maxwell's forced back into the neutral zone. Gonzalez sends it up the far side boards in behind the Lewis Flyers net, where it's received, and Alagna has it now. Cross-ice pass, Ernsting in over the Redbird line on his forehand. Tried a centering pass, and that was just on the reach there of the Flyers player, whoever that was. That was Keegan Mackey. And the Flyers still look to set up. Mackey now trying to send Grigori ahead. Pass was in his skate. Peterson now for the Redbirds. Runs into Ethan Ropaz, who's working hard in the offensive zone. In comes Fisk and turned the puck over. Ropaz couldn't quite win the race. And ISU now on the far side. Flyers doing a good job collapsing on the forecheck there. Had 3 Flyers players on the lone ISU forward. And I'm sure that's something that the Flyers have been working on in practice. We've been hearing, because the Flyers have 2 ACHA teams now, they've been doing something, in my opinion, that's a little creative with their practice times. They've been having their separate practices, but they've been able to have some full ice defensive practice, some full ice offensive practices with enough players. So they've been able to change their playing style a little bit. Here's Ulmer in 2-on-1. He tried his low shot, rebound, the Flyers score! Caden Ulmer opens the scoring at home. Flyers lead at 1-0 here early in period number 2. Period number 1, excuse me. Getting ahead of myself, Caden Ulmer has been really impressive since he's come to Flyers hockey. When he started as a freshman, I knew, and I said it multiple times back then as well, that he's a player to watch. And he's kick-started the energy here for the Flyers early in this hockey game. That offsides will slow things down. The Flyers have been in control thus far. You see the energy for the Flyers early in this game, which has been something that they have struggled with in the past, is getting started on time. I know, talking to the players and the coaches, they've all been really excited. Stumpf tried a centering pass there, but it was blocked. Right there ready for it was Josh David. A backhand shot by Caleb Pramack was high and wide of the net. And it will be sent the length of the ice for an icing call. As I started to say, Flyers have been excited to get going, to get hockey playing again at home in front of the home crowd. You can feel the atmosphere even on campus. This, in my entire experience, this is my, I think, 4th or 5th year calling Flyers hockey, and I've never felt this much buzz on campus about this hockey team. It's great to see. The Flyers have been off to a great start here at Camden. Alagna pokes that one down behind the net. Zach Dawson is back to get it. Tried a cross-ice pass. It was kicked down by Fronte. In the offensive zone, here's Ernsting. He's wheeling and dealing. Cross-ice pass, Ricci. What a save by Michael Leonard. Got the paddle out. And somehow reached back and kept it out. And we have a penalty coming up. Not sure who to. I believe it will be to Andreas Zorn, one of the captains for the Redbirds, has taken a 2-minute minor for roughing, and the Flyers will see the game's first power play. Huge opportunity here for the Flyers to extend this lead to 2 goals before we even reach the halfway point in period number 1. 11:14 left to go in the first. And that one's cleared the length of the ice. It's another point of emphasis for Jim Swire early in this season has been special teams. With speed as Stumpf waits for his teammates to catch up, and the Flyers will commence the power play. Down low is Steck, and he scores! Mike Steck on the power play. Former Blind River Beaver gets the power play tally and extends the Flyers' lead to 2 goals. What a shot. Mike Steck, another new name on the Flyers roster this evening. This season, rather. Has already made an impact in the first home game of the Flyers season. 10.5 minutes left in period 1. Flyers up by 2. Courtesy of Steck and Ulmer. With speed now, here's Grigori. Battles through a couple sticks. Still has it. Ropaz in the middle. His shot, rebound, and they hammer away at it. Puck is loose. No goal is waved. Someone came in and cleared out Grigori. Michael Leonard standing tall, shutting the door. 4th line for the Flyers. Getting a little gritty here early. 10:08 left in period 1. Caden Ulmer back out there to take this draw. Flyers won it. Goot will turn and fire, and that one was well wide of the net. In the far side corner now is Fisk. His clearing attempt didn't make it past the hash marks. He gets another try at it now, and this time he can't get it past the blue line. Dan Johnson on the point will fire, and that one's paddled up into the protective netting by Leonard. And we'll see another face-off in ISU's end. Flyers doing a good job testing the 4-year Redbird veteran in Leonard. who in 12 games played last year averaged 327 goals against. Flyers have 2 already today. Here's Steck, one of the goal scorers, will throw one on net from the red line. And Leonard didn't like what he saw, so he'll hold on. 9:24 left in period 1. Another point of emphasis for the Lewis Flyers is keeping their foot pressed down on the gas pedal. Love to see another goal here before the end of period number 1. Behind the net is Dawson for the Redbirds. He couldn't quite clear. He was kept in by Alagna on the point. Back the other way. Here's with speed Skodkaj, and his shot went nowhere. With speed was Fronte. He sends it down behind the net. And Ernsting tried a centering pass but couldn't do anything with it. Right back in, it's sent by Ricci. Ernsting couldn't control. Ricci's got it now in the neutral zone. Left wing side sends it up to Ernsting, who will loft it in off the glass and come off for a line change. Ernsting has been the main producer on the offensive side of the puck for the Lewis Flyers for the past couple years. We've got a couple more guys that put the puck in the back of the net as a shot is saved up high by Leonard. And Adrian Abram sends that one right back in. Back to get in his own end is Nate Maxwell. The former Lake County Viper will get this breakout going for the Redbirds. In the offensive zone, here's Peterson, and an excellent back check there by Grigori, prevented a shot. Another shot is saved by Zagat. Flyers scrambling for the first time this hockey game. 7:48 left to go in the first. Up on the far side wall is Dawson, and the puck hopped right over his stick. He didn't like that one too much as he comes off for a line change. Up off the glass is gloved down by Maxwell, who's got it now in his offensive zone. Gonzalez up the right wing side, it's sent. And Dan Johnson now on the top of his own circles is laid out with a big hit from Landon Hensley. And the Redbirds are trying to change the momentum. Strobe now in the offensive zone is closed off the puck by the Flyers captain Brian Goot. On the point, here's Maxwell. He tried to rip one, an excellent shot block by Jake Wilninski. We've got a penalty. The referee in the near side corner. And it looks like the Flyers will be heading back to the power play. Ryan Strobe had a late hit just in front of the Flyers bench. Backup goalie Thomas Labno didn't like what he saw there. Neither did the referee. Flyers will see their second power play of the game. Not even 30 seconds into the first one, Mike Steck extended their lead to 2 goals. Here's Ernsting. Stumpf on the point. He shoots, and that one deflected off the stick of Abram and into the far side corner. Abram's got it now on the hash marks. Up to the point, Steck walks to the middle. His shot went off the stick that time of Eddie Peterson. And that one went up into the protective netting. The first unit for the Flyers will stay on the ice. Minute 42 left on their second power play opportunity of this hockey game. Flyers win that draw. Stumpf on the near side point, walks it in. He shoots, and an excellent screen there from Adrian Abram, but somehow Leonard still made the save. Stumpf fanned on it. With speed the other way is Noah Friesen. He scoops it in behind the Flyers net. Minute 22 left on this power play opportunity. Logan Stumpf, smooth as silk, will sauce it back into his own zone where Ernsting is back to retrieve. Revving up the Jets, the Magic Man. Scotty Ernsting in over the red Bird line. He tries to cut to the middle, and he's taken down by Trenton Fisk. And Fisk had some excellent body play there in the slot to not let Ernsting walk right through the top of the crease. Half the power play gone for the Lewis Flyers. Second unit out. Alagna leaves it for the late man, Fronte. He's charging up in over the Redbird line. Fronte leaves it off for Ricci on the point, who rings it all the way around. Bonchanek pinned up against the boards, trying to send it out to Ricci, who was wide open in the front. Alagna slaps one into the far side corner. Rebound found by Pickens. Behind the net now. On the point, Alagna tried another shot. Fronte got a stick on it. I think deflected it wide. On the point, David throws one in the middle, hit traffic, and it's recovered by Avery Bonchanek and shoveled out. Power play over. Not as successful for the Lewis Flyers on that one. Still have a 2-goal lead with 4:44 left to go in period one. Dominic Grigori across to Alagna on the near side. Ropaz is closed off the puck. Here into the zone now. Backhand shot, that time by Mackey, is turned aside by Michael Leonard. In the zone, here's Nail. He tries to go upstairs and he missed the net. Rebound was found by Steck. He still got it in the slot. Backhand shot goes right into the glove of Leonard, and he will hold on. A couple chances after the power play was over for the Lewis Flyers. Not a problem at all for Michael Leonard. 4:14 left to go here in period one. Redbirds try a set face-off play. They will beat out that icing call, and Zaget came out to play. It turns it over to Friesen on the far side. Hashmarks, who rings it back around. Wilninski controls the puck now on his own end. Far side on the hash marks. Gooch stops, and he's checked right in the numbers there by Noah Friesen. No call in the play. Friesen's got it. On the point, Wilninski over the Redbird line in 3-on-2. He's got it now. Everyone's coming back. Cross-ice pass to the middle. Almost found Gutt, who was well covered by Noah Friesen. That was another quality scoring chance for the Flyers. Skokaj turned it over to Fronte, who gave it right back to Maxwell. He's in over the Flyer line. Is pushed off the puck by Dan Johnson. Comes back to him. Maxwell's got it. An excellent stick from Ernsting prevented anything further. Far side corner. Battle continues. Here's Goot. Glove down by Ernsting. He's turning on the Jets. They're in 2-on-1. He's got Fronte with him, and he tried to pull it to the forehand. Ernsting did, but he had it poked away. Back in the Flyer end, 2:52 left to go in period one. Ernsting couldn't clear. Redbirds still have it. This time Ricci will try. It's poked out by Logan Pickens. The Flyers will slow it down. Flyers have done a good job shutting things down in the defensive zone. Really haven't given too many looks to Illinois State. Here comes Caleb Pramack, one of the newcomers. Centering pass, trying to hit his buddy Josh David in stride right in front of the net. Was unable to do so. Turnover was definitely offsides. No call there. That's the trouble with the two-referee, one-linesman system. It's cross coverage by both parties. Results in some missed calls. Puck sitting near the half wall. Lewis Flyers zone. 1:36 left to go in the first period. Here comes Pramack. Lost the race to Andreas Zorn. Another former Chicago Cougar in Zorn. That was after playing for Notre Dame High School and the Chicago Jets. Minute 14 left to go here. We'll see a face-off to the left wing side of Sam Zagat. Won by the Flyers. Here's Walensky. We'll kind of push that one in over the blue line, but I don't think had a plan with it. That one went off a skate up into the protective netting and actually down over the glass into this capacity crowd here at Camlin. A lot of people excited to see Flyers hockey. Actually, this game today was one of the games where the shuttle was going from the Romeoville Lewis location to here at Camlin. Though it's not very far, it's about a 15-minute drive from our beautiful campus in Romeoville. But they did have a shuttle that was available to all students. That, of course, was free of charge. We'll be having that a few more times this season, so if you're interested, be sure to go to lewisuniversityhockey.com. 20 seconds left here in the first period. Flyers look to hold them off. Centering pass, nobody there. On the point, here's Bochenek. Cross-ice pass, and a couple of Flyers down to block that shot as that puck is cleared almost right up here into the broadcast booth. No, I have to wear a helmet up here. 3.5 seconds left here in the first period. We'll see one more face-off in the Flyers' end. I don't know. I know we're missing my color commentator here today, but in my humble opinion, that was one of the best periods of hockey that I've seen played by the Lewis Flyers in my tenure calling hockey. For them. Well-rounded, had the foot down on the gas pedal the entire time, played well defensively, shut down defense, didn't give the Redbirds anything. The tough part for them now, will they be able to do it 2 more times? We will find out. In about 15 minutes, we'll see period number 2. You're watching Flyers hockey right here on the Lewis University Television Network.
I don't know, I like to have everything perfect, even though it's hard to make it that way. So I'm going to be messing with these cameras like crazy the next hour. It's about 3.5 hours to get lower thirds for our guests and anchors, B-roll. But if you notice here too, we have kind of 2 different sets we're working with today. This is our normal anchor desk over there, and then we'll have Allie, one of our anchors, interview our guest Angie today. There you are. You have your mic?
Yes, I am mic'd.
All right. You are mic'd or you have it?
Myself up.
Oh, perfect.
Exams. They might have.
See that right there? That is perfect. Fantastic levels right there.
Testing center.
We got 2 minutes, so we're just gonna go back up to the top of the script. Are there mics down?
Yes.
15 seconds. Play it. Ready on both their mics, 2 and 3. Take them.
Good evening. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Focuses on recycling and redistributing chemicals are neglect.
It's always important to know too how long each clip is. So it's like 45.
Worse against people who weren't put there to law to enforcement. The investigation is ongoing. Up
Both
next,
mics.
we will have your local news. We'll be right back.
Play it. Is it playing?
Should be.
All right, mic's down.
Mics are down.
All right.
Think.
Oh, the first one, we're only going to have a minute. The first one didn't play, so I'll tell them. Ready on Allie's mic. And take it.
The mayor floor leader of Chicago.
Go ahead, Bridget. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you caught me.
Following a disturbance that ensued. Up next, we will have your Lewis Spotlight. Then we will have your Lewis Sports Update. Stay with us.
Play it. Mic's down. Yeah, just where you were before. Make sure both of you guys are framed up right. Yeah, you're right there. You can just stay.
I am Citlali Romo.
And I'm Allison Lankwitz. Have a great night.
Play it. Mic's down. All right. You guys are clear. I thought it went pretty well. I know we had a lot of issues beforehand, and it was kind of chaotic. But I mean, overall, I thought it went fine. The anchors did a good job. I did an all right job. But it looked good, though. So hopefully, everyone go check it out on the YouTube channel. Got to shout it out.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
From Oak Point, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a graduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a commuter student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I am Sidney Butler, also known as King Kwan, and I am proud to be a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an international student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm from St. Augustine, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an aviation maintenance major, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a first-year student, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I am a general construction pre-apprentice, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm an undergraduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a transfer student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a fully online student. I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm from Homer Glen, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I am an international graduate student from China. I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a women's basketball player, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
My name is William Jones. I'm glad to be a flyer for Lewis University.
I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a graduate student at Oak Brook campus, and we are Flyers.
I'm from Chicago, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a track and field athlete, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am from Brazil, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I am a graduate student, and I am a Lewis Flyer.
I'm a biology and chemistry major, and I'm a Lewis Flyer.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers. We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers. We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
We are Lewis Flyers.
My name is Grace Duflon. I am a double major in public relations and advertising, as well as organizational communication, and I am from Delafield, Wisconsin. I was searching for a major for almost 2 years, and I'm very glad that I chose public relations because I do really enjoy talking with others, being creative, writing, designing, and all of those elements are incorporated in the major. My Lewis experience has been very hands-on. There was one class in particular, our public relations writing class, where we got to work with ISU Community Development Services, and they work to revitalize neighborhoods and work with underserved communities. And this was a full semester project where we were able to create lots of public relations and advertising materials, and we also got to work on our client services skills because we met with the owner on a weekly basis. This project gave us great real-life experience and also helped me realize that I do love the client services aspect of public relations, and I would love to do that in my career someday.
Can you help me?
Mom, Dad, we're going out.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're playing chess.
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
She's real sick, huh? Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
You heard them, organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
I'm Allison Linkwitz, and my majors are psychology and radio, television broadcasting. My junior year, I realized that I had enough credits to pursue a minor, and it was recommended that I do radio, television broadcasting just because I had discussed what I like to do with my counselor. I realized really quickly that it was something that I wanted to do full time. I got to take advantage of having my own radio show here through WLRA, and I realized I loved talking with people. I loved communicating with people, not just studying them like in psych, but actually having conversations and being on air. And that's when I realized you can take whatever you're passionate about in your life and turn it into your living. My Lewis experience has been very impactful. I think I've grown to become more confident, and I think I've realized the ways that I was created by God, and now I'm able to change the world.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfies, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Lewis University is full of devoted students ready to take the first step into their future. A group of hard-working and devoted students using the tools and resources provided and the experiences and opportunities gifted to them to identify their passion and explore their purpose, working endlessly to find their true calling.
All right, welcome back to the Lewis University Television Network for Period 2 of Flyers hockey as they take on the visiting Illinois State University Redbirds. Flyers with a commanding 2-0 lead after 20 minutes of hockey. Goals courtesy of Caden Ulmer and Mike Steck on the power play for the Lewis Flyers. They really controlled pace of play, played a lot of hockey in the offensive zone, which has been something that I've always talked about and I've always loved to see, is Flyers playing 200 feet away from their netminder. Their netminder, though, the big man in white, Sam Zagat, to my right-hand side now, has been the foundation of Flyers hockey last year and this already, playing outstanding thus far. Not to be outdone on the other side of the ice, Michael Leonard has really held his own to the barrage of scoring chances that the Flyers have thrown at him. He did let two pass, hence the 2-goal lead. Flyers will look to extend it here in the second. Puck is dropped, and we are underway. Turnover. Here's Logan Pickens. He's got Fronte with him. Pickens with the drive and went in and out of the glove of Michael Leonard. And an early opportunity for the Lewis Flyers, and Logan Pickens draws a hooking penalty, and the Flyers will see their third power play opportunity of this hockey game. Early here in period number 2, not a good penalty in the defensive zone by Landon Hensley, the sophomore from Rolling Meadows, puts his team down for 2 minutes. Flyers to the power play. Mike Steck had one earlier on the power play. Centering pass, found Ernsting, and he hit it, got a stick on it, and went up over the net. Flyers will control now. Abram tried to throw it across the box, and it was blocked. On the far side, comes back to Abram down below the goal line. Far side to the near side. Logan Stumpf sends it down low. Steck, centering pass, far side. Here's a shot by Pramack, and it hit a stick out in front. Found by Abrams, centering pass, tried to hit Pramack coming in, and it was just out of his reach. Flyers, a couple good scoring opportunities. Here's Steck. Far side, Pramack walks it in, centering pass, and that one was sticked all the way down the length of the ice. And the Redbirds will get a line change. You can tell this has been something they've been working on in practice, really looking cohesive. Flyers running a couple set plays in the offensive zone as it gets cleared the length of the ice once again. Back to get it, Braden Ricci. 35 seconds left on the third power play opportunity for the Lewis Flyers. Ricci will chip and chase into the far side corner where he's pushed off the puck by Alex Kowalczyk, and he can't clear. Behind the net is Maxwell. Pinned up against the glass by Pickens. Into support is Josh David. Pickens couldn't handle it with speed. Noah Friesen has it poked away, but Gonzalez was right in his pocket and could pick up the loose change. Power play over. 5-on-5 hockey. Up the right wing wall is Alagna. The push and back entry now. Here's Fronte. Almost turns it over. Ryan Strobe had some excellent stick work there on the Flyers' blue line. Ricci now in his own zone. Fronte almost turned it over. Alagna now far side corner, trying to send it up. Nobody was there, though, so luckily it hit the skate of the referee. And now in his own zone is Alagna. Turnover in the slot, and a diving Alagna there blocked that shot. Flyers looking to have a case the second period Blues early. 16:50 left to go in the second period. Josh David slaps that one off the glass behind the net. The near side, Pickens couldn't stick it down. Comes right back to Braden Ricci. Flyers still can't clear. Justin Gonzalez wheels behind the net. Tried a centering pass, and there was a couple whiffs right there. But no harm, no foul, as that puck is slapped at by Pickens, who's at the end of a long shift and will come off for a line change. Puck goes off the linesman right to Grigori, who's got it. Centering pass, and that one gets kicked into the corner by Leonard. Flyers got a lucky bounce off the linesman. Troy Nail will chip it into the offensive zone. Right there to get it is Keegan Mackey. And Flyers force a turnover. Grigori will throw one on net, and it's easily turned aside by Leonard. With speed into the zone are the Redbirds. On the point, here's LeBeau. Down in the near side corner, centering pass went off. Nail's skate. And into the far side corner, and Nail in the process took out the referee. Here's Ropaz. Battling hard in the offensive zone. Tried a centering pass to no avail. Brock Bradenberg now back for the Redbirds. And that one was touched by Zach Dawson and will result in an offside. 15-13 left in period 2. Then a lot of Redbirds action here in the second frame. Not sure what coaches Alex Latsky and Kevin Tompkins said to them in the intermission, but it must have inspired them. Here's a turnover now by here. Ian has a drive, and Zagat stood tall. Down spread eagle saved that one. One of the better chances for the Redbirds right there. In the neutral zone, Pramack is lit up. Nowhere close to the puck, and the Flyers will be seeing another power play. Dan Johnson throws it up the far side wall. And as the Redbirds touch up, Trenton Fisk will sit for 2. The call is a rough. Call it roughing, call it interference, call it elbowing. They all apply in this situation. Puck was nowhere to be found. Fisk laying down the body. Now will be sitting his body down in the sin bin for the next 2 minutes. The Flyers see their 4th try on the power play of the game. Pramack to Stumpf on the point. Backhanded down low, right out of the reach of Abrams. Steck to get it near side. Pramack walks it in, shoots, and nobody there to deflect it. Trying to pass it off the end boards. Not to no avail. Ernsting turns and fires, and it's turned aside by Leonard and cleared the length of the ice. Another couple high-quality chances for the Flyers already early. Minute 22 left on this power play. Logan Stumpf with speed over the Redbird line. Will power it behind the net. Leaves it off for Steck. Steck walking in. He shoots, and he trying to go glove side. And the door was shut by Michael Leonard. Mike Steck has been a force on special teams thus far in this game. Has 1 goal already on the power play. Almost had another one right there. Pickens is forced back into his own zone by a forechecking Michael Egan. Here now Fronte up the left wing side over the Illinois State line and trying to chip it into the zone, but it went right into the Flyers bench, almost hitting photographer and Flyers D3 player Caden Peter, who was standing there trying to get the shot. Face off won by the Flyers. 50 seconds left on their power play. Roughing call to Trenton Fisk. Graduate of Neuqua Valley. I'm sure he's familiar with playing here at Camlin as the Flyers have a high quality chance there, and it's turned aside by Leonard once again. Ricci leaves it for Josh David. He motors into the ISU line and trying to drag it through his skates and somehow picks up the puck. Down below the goal line, David to Pickens on the point. They cycle it down behind the net. Alagna on the far side will poke it down, and it deflects up into the protective netting. You saw some fancy footwork there by one of the newcomers, Josh David, former Chase Heat of the Canadian Junior League, KIJHL. A shot from the point was deflected by Ulmer out in front, who's looking for his second tally of this hockey game. With speed now into the zone is Logan Skokaj. He's closed off the puck by Caden Ulmer and then gave him a stiff cross check right in the back. Flyers, point of emphasis for Jim Swoyer's first season coaching Flyers hockey last year was to not take silly penalties, and they haven't taken a single call. This, and a shot by the Flyers captain, Brian Goot, will squeak by Michael Leonard. The Flyers are up by 3 goals. Fresh off the bench, Brian Goot had 2 or 3 strides up on that big slap shot and went right off the right pad, right in the back of the net. Flyers up by 3 here. Just under 12 minutes left to go in period 2. Just after the completion of their power play, Flyers tally another one as Steck threw one on net from outside the blue line. And a big hit by Steck again. Playing on both sides of the puck, Mike Steck. Flyers doing a good job in the offensive zone on the forecheck, really collapsing on the puck. They've forced a few turnovers in the game thus far just because they've got 2-3 guys on every single puck. And a big hit there by Mike Steck once again, who's laying the body down. Excellent shift there for the Flyers defenseman, who has 1 goal today. Alagna back in his own zone. Gets chipped ahead to Fronte, who couldn't glove it down. Icing waved off. In the near side corner, Montalvo gets it going for the Redbirds. Dawson now in over the Flyer line. He tried to leave it back for Ernsting, and it actually got gloved down by Trenton Fisk. And in now is Illinois State. And a shot is turned aside by the big man in white, Sam Zagat. First opportunity in a while for the Redbirds as Zagat trying to slide from his right to left, but kicked the net off in the process, causing that stoppage of play. 10:06 left to go here in period 2. Flyers did not have, shall we say, an ideal start here in period 2. Looked like trying to shake some of the rust off, but have bounced back quite nicely as that one gets pushed out in front. Zagat lays down, the crease is cleared. No signal from the referee. Not quite sure who that was behind the net for the Redbirds, it might have been Ryan Strobe who kind of faked the wraparound and came back to the same side, caught Zaget off guard. He had to lay flat on his back and somehow was able to find that puck and keep it out of the net. Just over halfway, in this hockey game. 9:58 left to go in period 2. Flyers up by 3 goals. Puck comes down right in the slot area. Behind the net is Adrian Abram. He will bring the puck, and it kind of hopped away from him as he crossed over the blue line of the Redbirds. Logan Stumpf will give it a try this time. Techman couldn't get anything going. Here come the Flyers in 3-on-2, and an excellent defensive stick there from Avery Bochenek prevented that 3-on-2 opportunity. And he's bringing it into the offensive zone, near side corner, Flyers end. With speed, Josh David sends it across to Pramack. Leaves it for Stumpf. Couldn't get anything going with that drive. And a couple big sticks there from Flyers defense, and another hit from Troy Nail on Bochenek. A dangerous looking pass that time, straight up the middle of the ice by Flyers defense, but no harm, no foul on that one, as puck will trickle back into the Redbird end. Walensky on the forecheck, forces Hensley to send it around the net. Brian Goot laying down the body. Mike Steck showing his hops right there. He'd be about 2-3 feet in the air right there. Impressive. On skates nonetheless. Face off outside the Flyers bench, just in front of us here at Callan. 8:17 left to go in this second period. Flyers up by 3 goals. Most recent one from the Flyers captain, Brian Goot. Big slap shot from the top of the near side circle. Beat Michael Leonard, which has been pretty difficult to do. Last year, in 12 games played, he had a .9.2 save percentage. Flyers turn it over in the defensive zone. A centering attempt was blocked by Mike Steck and scooped on out into the neutral zone. Nail in his own end goes across, nobody there. Nate Maxwell can pick it up. Noah Friesen walks it in, fires, and a excellent shot block by Nail, who is right out in perfect position in the slot. Noah Friesen. Puck gets sent back around the net. Egan behind the net is pinned up against the boards by Nail. Maxwell to the point. Down low, a sharp angle shot went right into the glove of Zaget, and he holds on. 7:04 left in period 2. Flyers, for the most part, have held their ground in the defensive zone. It really has been refreshing. Again, I mentioned it earlier that there's been a very structured practice plan that has been implemented this year with both teams, and having the ability to run some full ice simulations and game time, situations has apparently been very beneficial in just what we've seen so far in the Flyers game. Puck in the Flyers end now. Here's Ricci, near side dot, far side of Lagna. His pass was picked off in the middle there by Techman, but they couldn't get anything going. Mackey's in. The Flyers 3-on-2. Centering pass goes off the left pad up into the protective netting and that will cause a stoppage of play. 6:12 left to go now in the second period. That fourth line really showing the depth of the Flyers bench. Was talking about it with a few people here at the game, and Jim Swire has 4 solid lines of players that he can use to his ability. Ernsting now in the zone will rip one and scooped up by Leonard. The Magic Man getting through traffic into the slot area and creating time and space for himself as he does so well. As I started to say, though, Grigori and Mackey doing well on that fourth line. And again, Jim Swire having lots of options of line combinations that he can play with. Back the other way, here comes Grinton. He lost the handle on it, and he's pushed right off the puck by Adrian Abram. An excellent defensive play from that Flyers newcomer. Centering pass bounced around in the slot. Techman couldn't find it, and Ernsting falls down on the play. J.P. Techman, one to watch, was second in goals already, even with just 4 games played for the Redbirds. Very familiar with playing in these parts. J.P. Techman grew up playing hockey here. Matter of fact, I played with his brother Alex right on this same sheet of ice. So, little homecoming for the Redbird forward. Great to see him and his family back in Romeoville as he looks to turn things around for his team here with 4:55 left to go in period 2. Flyers still up 3-0. Puck kicked ahead. Here comes Josh David. Waltzes into the ISU end. Turns away from a couple hits. David sends it down low to Logan Stumpf. And Stumpf now engaged in battle in the near side corner. In to help out is Nail, who pokes it down behind the net. Andreas Zorn tries to get something going for his team, and unfortunately, that puck just squeaked over the blue line back in the Flyers. And now a sharp angle shot from Dawson. I think just hit Sam Zagat and fell right down in the crease, but he's able to find it and cover up. 4:09 left to go in the second. Sam Zagat, one of the 2 guests that we've had on the Lewis Hockey Podcast this second season. Head coach of Flyers D2 Hockey, Jim Swire, and I sit down every week and have a conversation about things going on, players, everything there is to do with Flyers hockey. And we got to talk to Sam Zagat and some of his pro hockey aspirations and what he wants to do after he's done playing hockey for the Lewis Flyers. And that was a really interesting conversation. If you haven't heard it, I would go check it out, as the Redbirds had a scary looking opportunity right there, as Zagat was all the way on the other side of the net there. And fortunately, Flyers defense was able to clear. Ropaz in on the forecheck on Zorn, who backhanded it high into the air. Here comes with speed Andreas Zorn. One of the captains will throw one on net, and it's soaked up by Zagat. 3:10 left to go now in the second. Zorn trying to do anything he can to turn the tides for the Redbird here at Camlin. Down by 3 goals as we approach the end of the second period. Down below the net, Gonzalez cycles it back to the near side, Bradenberg. Sends it right back to Gonzalez, far side, who will circle it back down to Friesen behind the net. Bradenberg tried a centering pass. No one was there, and it evaded the stick of Keegan Mackey, and so it will go all the way back into the Redbird end. Adrian Abram couldn't clear it out, hit the shin pad of the linesman and gets sent back in behind Sam Zagat. Abram. Flyers can't clear. Puck in the slot. A big shot was just wide by Noah Friesen. Not a guy you want to have that opportunity, as a collision on the point between Ropaz and Maxwell will draw the attention of the ISU bench. Another great shift for the Lewis Flyers fourth line. Troy Nail falls down on the play. ISU in all alone. An excellent poke check there from Sam Zagat. Prevented that opportunity. That was Landon Hensley, who was in all alone after Troy Nail blew a tire in his defensive zone. Excellent play by the Flyers netminder. Ernsting spins through a hit in the near side corner. He's got Fronte in front of the net. Scotty Ernsting has a couple Redbirds on him, battles through some contact and does not have the support with him. Near side hash marks. Kept in on the far side by Alagna. Here comes John Keedy in over the Flyer line. He'll snap one on goal, and that goes in and out of the glove of Sam Zagat. Flyers slowing down here towards the end of the second. J.P. Techman centering pass. What a play! And that one sat in the slot, and an up-close opportunity was smothered by Zagat. 47 seconds left here in the second. Signs of life being shown by the Redbirds. They win that face-off, and a point shot hit a stick and deflects into the near side corner. From the point, LeBou tried to drive another shot. Found the rebound in the front, and there it is. Zach Dawson will put a tally in the goal column. The first one for the Redbirds here at Canlan, cutting the lead of the Lewis Flyers to just 2 goals. 3 goals, the worst lead in hockey. Flyers got to hold them off for the next 30 seconds. Wolninski, near side corner. Puck hopped over the stick of Dan Johnson. Back to get it is Adrian Abram. Abram now. Across it goes to Wolninski, who shovels it into the ISU end. Less than 10 left to go. As the Redbirds hold in the far side corner, that will do it. I said 3 goals, the worst lead in hockey. 2 goals is actually the worst lead in hockey, and that's what the Flyers have right now after 40 minutes. They have a task ahead of them in this third period. Redbirds did a good job turning things around in period number 2, but that middle section of period 2 was really dominated by the Flyers. Unfortunately for them, right towards the end, they were scored on, and not the kind of thing you want to take into the dressing room after 2 periods. We've got one more period, though, coming up in just a couple minutes. You're watching Flyers hockey on the Lewis University Television Network. so you have come here. How has your experience been at Lewis so far? And be as mean as you want to Jim. It's okay. He'll forgive you. He may make you bag skate at next practice, but
no, I mean so far it's been everything I could ask for. I mean it's been great. The hockey program has been great. All the guys have been super welcoming. The school load, the classwork, everything's been manageable. The professors have been great. I've kind of built some connections with them in my short time here so far. So yeah, everything's been great. Kind of a different maybe experience than some other guys since I'm kind of commuting and maybe not always on campus. So maybe I don't get that full campus feel that some of the rest of the guys who live on campus do. But either way, I mean it's still been a good experience.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Because I think that I don't know what your ratio is of residents to commuters, but I feel like for a lot of people that is going to be their experience. Is that challenging at all to commute to? I mean, granted, you're not that far, but
yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a super big challenge. Maybe it's just if guys are getting together or stuff like that, just being a little bit farther from campus sometimes makes it more difficult. Maybe if you need help with homework or something. You don't always want to make like the 35-minute commute to go stop in or whatever. But other than that, it's been pretty manageable. I kind of set up my classes kind of going into the school year where my classes kind of aligned up with the hockey schedule. So I was able to kind of have my main class load and then kind of finish up the school day around 2:00 and then kind of head right to the rink and be able to be at practice every day, which has kind of worked out great.
And that I want to say that work-life balance, but that school life hockey balance, how has that been? Like, because it's not really an adjustment for you though, because you were taking classes when you were playing juniors. Yeah, so it really hasn't been too much of a crazy adjustment. I've kind of once you get in like a kind of the schedule and kind of in a rhythm, it's been pretty manageable. And then I mean I was while I was in Texas and even before I'd never really taken a break from school, so for some other junior guys who maybe take a year or two off of school, it can be kind of maybe a little bit more harder to go back in and get in the rhythm. But I kind of felt like I was kind of already adjusted to that, already been doing that pretty much my entire life. So it was a pretty seamless transition.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I walk out of my class and there he is with the boys, hanging out in the halls, causing trouble.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not
no trouble.
I mean, trouble. These guys are.
Yeah.
Okay. So transitioning now to on ice, you're forward defenseman. Your first game is tomorrow, this weekend.
Yes.
For reference. So I haven't seen him play yet. I haven't seen a lot of the team play.
Right.
You got all these new recruits. You're throwing me off my rhythm here.
That's what I do.
So you're forward defenseman. What's going on here?
Defenseman.
Okay. And here's the $1 million question. How would you describe your game?
Describe my game. I'd say I take pride in kind of being more of a defensive defenseman, trying to take care of the D zone first.
What was that? That was weird. Anyway, was that my phone? I don't know.
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I've always been kind of like the last line of defense after the goalie. Obviously, as a defenseman, there's the modern day defenseman, Cale Makars and stuff who love to skate the puck. But I feel like if you can't take care of your own D zone, then it's kind of tough on the rest of your teammates. And
I really don't know what that is. Somebody's watch is going crazy. Anyway,
and tough on your goalies. So yeah, I try and play a pretty hard style of defensive play, and then kind of try and transition that into the offensive zone. Kind of shut down plays early, and then try and bring a little offense as well too whenever I can.
Now, Jim, do you agree with that assessment?
I would consider him a two-way defenseman. He does take care of the defensive zone. That's a big part of why we needed him here. And he can also distribute and move the puck as well. And he's on the power play. He uses his body well in front of the net and does what he needs to do in there. So it's been it's been really good.
And
that's a culmination of your youth hockey, right? And juniors. I mean, have you learned, like, I guess you really haven't played that many games in ACHA hockey yet, but I was going to ask if you've noticed a big difference in ACHA competition and your junior experience. Because I guess you've played a few games already, right? 3?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's been a pretty it's kind of tough to almost judge. I mean, it's been a while since I kind of played last year, but I mean, the pace of play so far, the games that we've played have been super competitive, super close. Playing, NIU's D1 team, that was great. Kind of playing a little level higher and kind of seeing what that looks like. But yeah, the pace of play has been great. Obviously ACHA nowadays is getting super, super competitive. So, it's been good so far.
And I guess I don't even know what I was going to say there, but that's good. We're glad that you're here. And I guess transitioning then into this weekend, this is the first homestand of the season for you guys.
This is our home opener right here. Here we go. The eve.
Yeah.
How are we feeling? 'Twas the night before Lewis hockey.
We had I thought we had a good practice. We had some pace going, but we cut it short.
Yeah.
Didn't want to burn the boys out, but at the other time, we needed to make sure we drove some pace and got some things going. So kept it pretty simple. Touch on a few little minor details to just get us ready.
Yeah, are we excited for the first home game?
Yeah, it's the guys have been excited. Pretty much all week. We kind of have our flyers on campus now. I've had fellow classmates, even professors, kind of asking. So the guys are obviously excited. We love to play in front of people. We kind of. I guess there's like a shuttle bus coming to the game too.
We're gonna have the shuttle bus taking some people over. So
and that's happened a few times this season, I think. So
not yet.
Not yet. Well, the idea, hopefully,
we're going to.
We'll be having it a couple times this season. So.
And we're doing a lot of creative things. It's one of the things that we've sort of have added to the plate this year versus last year. Last year we were focusing just on the on ice stuff and the culture and building.
Right.
But now that we have that established, we are reaching out more to the fan experience and making sure that the game experience is more than just the game itself on the ice, but doing other things. We're going to get the mascot and we're going to have the bus going. And we're going to we're going to have some fun and make it fun for people to come and watch. It makes it more fun.
It makes it more fun to play. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Was there a big cult following in Texas, like for your junior team? Because I know some of them. I mean, we have so many in this area. I feel like we've got all sorts of junior hockey, and they all have their fan favorites.
Yeah. Not so much in the town that I played in. There was only one rink.
Rhino from the flight department.
How are you?
Good, how are you? We're actually pre-flighting for the low pass, so I kind of just want to discuss it with you before we go out there.
Yeah, hopefully everything, if it's not too busy.
We call it a ceremonial low pass. You go lower to the ground at a higher speed to kind of signify moving on to a bigger and better career.
This is my last flight, Dave. Thanks again for wanting to do this. Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for asking me.
Lewis Tower, make left traffic, runway 2, cleared for takeoff.
I actually have mixed emotions right now. Watching him fly by brings me back memories to when he first started here at Lewis as a student and what he's been through with challenges. And now he is moving on with his career.
We have uniform for the requested 2 low passes over runway 9.
My Lewis experience has been adventurous. I've had a lot of opportunities to experience the flight side, the student life. I don't think I'd change one thing that I did here.
Seminole, 0 Lima uniform, turn left on Golf, taxi to the university via Bravo Echo, and congratulations on this advancement of your career right now.
It is very sad, but at the same time, I'm excited to see what's next.
Welcome back to Callan Sports in Romeoville for period number 3 of Flyers hockey. Logan Kapp here, taking you through the game today between the Lewis Flyers and Illinois State University Redbirds. Redbirds had a late period goal, slashed the lead to 2 goals of the Lewis Flyers, who have really been playing really well. Flyers are coming off a couple losses against Northern Illinois University. They play them for the Battle of the Plains Cup, as it were, every year. They play them at the beginning of the season and at the end. On the far side, here's Pickens. He'll throw one on goal, and it's blockered down by Leonard. Flyers will look to come out of the locker room with a little bit more gusto than what they have had in the past. And wow, that was an unfortunate play there for the Illinois State Redbirds. That was Zach Dawson, who was offsides, unfortunately, and ripped one on goal and went right past Sam Zagat. And unfortunately for the Redbirds, they were offside. Here now in the neutral zone is Nate Maxwell, who left it for Techman, who centered it in. A shot is turned aside by Zagat. We got a penalty coming up to the Lewis Flyers. The first penalty they've taken all game. That would be one of the newcomers, Josh David, will sit 2 minutes for roughing. Seen a lot of special teams work out of the Lewis Flyers this game have been pretty successful on the power play. Notched one power play goal so far, and penalty kill will get a workout here in the third period, not even a minute in. Here's Techman to the point. Near side, Gonzalez. In the middle is Zorn. Far side, Techman will throw it on goal, and it's caught by Zagat, who holds on. Flyers penalty kill looking equally as positive as their power play was. Minute 42 left on Josh David's penalty. On the point, Gomez across to Techman. He winds and fires, and it's saved by Zagat. Rebound to Gomez. On the point, comes back to Gomez. Dawson, he'll throw it on goal. It was tipped out in front, possibly by a defenseman. And Zach Dawson has slashed the Flyers' lead in half. The Redbirds had a couple point shots throughout the course of that power play, and finally Zach Dawson was able to find the space and slash the Flyers' lead in half. 3-2 is now the score. 18:38 left to go in the third period. Flyers have now been scored on twice unanswered. Redbirds looking to get another one here quick. In the far side corner, pressured by Braden Ricci and pushed behind the net. Kane Nolmer comes in and picks up the puck and leaves it off for Adrian Abram, who can clear it out. And the Redbirds will bring it back. Abram leaves it for Flyers captain Brian Gutt, who motors up the left wing side into the zone, tries to rip one, and it went off a stick, and it was not very cleanly handled by Fisk, and that forces the Redbirds around. Puck picked up in stride by Keedy. That is offsides, though, so he can't touch it. And the Flyers will try again. Ernsting bats it down, not ruled to be a high stick. Here's Scotty Ernsting into the zone. His forehand tries to throw one, and it blocked, hit a stick out in front of one of the ISU defensemen. Troy Nail has a drive, and that was about 2 feet left of the net. Scramble out in front. Michael Leonard was going for a swim. Flyers couldn't find the puck. Redbirds clear. First scoring chance for the Lewis Flyers in quite some time. Definitely the first one of this third period. As a battle ensues in the near side corner, stuck on the point, couldn't handle it. It'll go back into the Flyers' end as looked like Alex Franz-Tay was tangled up with someone in the near side corner ISU zone. On the half wall, a couple players from each team will battle away. Here's Josh David. Got to be feeling it after he took that penalty and allowed the Redbirds to capitalize on the power play. I'm sure he's looking to make up for that. Here was Friesen. He's put right on his wallet there. Big body check. Here's Josh David. Shovels it into the offensive zone. Far side corner, centering pass. No one was there. Finds its way up to Alagna on the point, who throws one across. And again, bounced through traffic to no avail. With speed now going back the other way was Michael Egan, who pushed one on net, and I think it hit a stick and almost found the open space on the far side there. The near side corner, Peterson throws one in front, and it goes off of Sam Zagat, and in behind him was Josh David, who went crashing into the net. And then we'll see a face-off in the Lewis Flyers' end. This almost looks like a different Lewis Flyers team than we saw in the first period. Flyers came out hot with something to prove and have slowed down dramatically as this game has gone on. They need to find a response to the two most recent goals from the Redbirds. A shot from the top of the circle hit a skate out in front and trickled into the near side corner. With speed, Caleb Pramek will force it out. Here now is Ryan Strobe on the right wing side of the Flyer zone. Will throw one on it high and wide. Rebound off the end boards. Was pushed into the corner by a spread eagle, Sam Zagat. Here's Alagna. Can't quite pull the puck to his forehand. Will recover the puck, but can't get anything going. J.P. Techman weaving through the neutral zone. Walks in, fires, and it's wide. Wilninski to Gutt, who tried to give it back to him, and he battles through some contact there with Andreas Zorn. Ryan Gut, a cross-ice pass, gets deflected to Johnson on the point, who keeps it in. Wilninski now in the near side corner. Abram on the point, throws it back into the near side corner right to Trenton Fisk, who's able to loft it on up into the neutral zone. Fronte across to Johnson. Flyers look to get something going here. Omer will kind of softball one on net, forcing Leonard to make a save, which is the first save he's had to make in quite some time. 14-14 left to go in period number 3. Flyers still up by 1 goal. Here come the Redbirds up the right wing side, in over the Flyer line. Centering pass and a diving, I believe that was Troy Nail, whose stick got in the way there, almost deflected it right into his own net. Battling through some hits is Keedy. He lost it in his skates. Puck sat in the slot. Nobody could find it. And finally, Nail was able to shovel it out. Keedy. Across the ice it goes. Here's Montalvo. He couldn't get anything going. And once again, the Redbirds bring it back in. Far side corner forced around the net by Troy Nail. Near side point, Maxwell Montalvo couldn't keep it in. With speed, Stumpf is in and has a drive that was well wide. Behind the net, Maxwell Montalvo. Sandburg High School graduate will kind of scoop that one into the Flyers zone. Has some collisions on both sides of the ice. Here's Caleb Pramek. He's sent into the zone, forcing Leonard out to play it. Turns it over to Stumpf. Down low, sends it to Pramek. Stumpf has it taken away. Continues to battle in the Redbird end. Here now comes Skokas. He controls in his offensive zone, has it stripped by Alagna and lofted high into the sky by Logan Stumpf. Dominic Grigori in on the forecheck, who really, I've talked about it a few times on the broadcast thus far, but this fourth line for the Lewis Flyers really making an impact and is compiled of some of the D3 players, some of the new guys, and really we've felt their impact on the game thus far. They've been throwing the body around, creating scoring chances in the offensive zone, and that's what you ask for out of that line. Justin Gonzalez will rifle it out. It bounced back in by Abram. For turnover forced by Wilninski, sends Gut down low. Flyers captain Gut has time in the offensive zone. Try to backhand pass. That found no one. Gonzalez ends up with the puck and sends it across the ice. Here now into the zone with speed is Bradenberg, and his drive maybe hit Sam Zagat up higher. Sam Zagat kind of had an awkward save there, and his brain bucket popped right off, but not a problem at all for the Flyers netminder. 11:17 left to go in the third. Flyers have started to recover in this third period, have been playing more in the offensive zone, had a couple of good drives. It'll be paramount for them to stay out of the penalty box for the rest of this game. They've only taken one thus far, Josh David, this period. And that's something the Flyers have struggled with kind of all along in the past couple years is discipline hockey. We talked about it a lot as that one bounced around in the slot and went right past the open net. The Flyers, though, did a great job last year playing really disciplined. One of the foundational points that Jim Swoyer has brought to the team since taking over at the beginning of the year last year. Here comes Ernsting. He'll try to walk it in, and he's sat right down by Will Grinton. Physical play picking up here in the third. Ernsting threw one on net. It was not cleanly handled by Leonard, but his defensive pair was able to clear it out. In the neutral zone, Fisk gives it on up to Dawson. In his own zone, Zorn slowing things down as we approach the halfway point in this third period. That one was ruled to be offsides. We should see a faceoff down closer to the Redbirds side of the ice with that long stretch pass. We are in store for quite the finish here at Callan this afternoon. In the first game of the two-game homestand for the Lewis Flyers, the first one of the season here against Illinois State. They've got a game tonight. They've got one tomorrow afternoon. I believe 3:25 is the start time for that one. If you're in the Chicagoland area, the Romeoville area, you should come out and watch. It's a fun time as Keegan Mackey laid down a big body check. He's got the puck in the offensive zone now. Keegan Mackey playing really well. Adrian Abram up to Mackey, who just took a big hit from Montalvo. Montalvo's got to be careful, got those hands up. Got a penalty coming up for the ISU Redbirds. Samza gets off the ice, and Dan Johnson is laboring at what looked like some knee-on-knee contact. Tripping is the call. Not sure what the Lewis bench is barking about. Looks like the Lewis Flyers will have a power play. That was Maxwell Montalvo who took that tripping call. And the Flyers will get another crack with the special teams this afternoon. Maxwell will shovel that one out, where it's gloved down in the neutral zone by Caleb Pramack, and the Flyers will get things going. Mike Stack, power play goal earlier this game, will get it in, and it's sent the length of the ice by the Redbirds. Minute 15 left on this power play. Logan Stump just lost his handle on it, and again, it cleared the length of the ice. Not very clean play by the Flyers forward right there. Now, at a leisurely pace, Scotty Ernsting will begin to bring it up. Pramack. Blew a tire, gets sent down to Ernsting. Centering pass, and what a drive there. But it was turned aside. One of the best scoring chances of the game from Alex Fronte. And it was turned aside by Michael Leonard. The Flyers still with 33 seconds of power play time. A slap shot from Logan Pickens, and it just hit Leonard. He didn't even see it. Back to get it in his own zone, Logan Pickens. Flyers will have one more drive on this power play. 20 seconds left. Braden Ricci up the left wing side. Has to wait for his teammates to catch up, and he threw it away. Will Gritton in the offensive zone has a couple Flyers players on him who will lackadaisically make an attempt at it. A shot was turned aside by Sam Zagat, and not a very good penalty for the Flyers to take late in this hockey game in their defensive zone. That was Braden Ricci who got the stick into the skates of the ISU player in the far side corner and took him out. And now the Flyers will have to kill off a late game power play. They've been scored on, the only other one they've had this game. Backhanded out by Dan Johnson. Back in his own zone, Andres Zorn. Former Chicago Cougar will get things going. As the Redbirds buzz in on the right wing side, that one's blockered aside by Zagat. Gonzalez on the point will set things up. Techman. Gonzalez on the top of the key. Leaves it for Techman, who walks to the middle. His drive is blocked by traffic out in front. Rebound could not be controlled by John Keedy. Keedy on the hash marks. Tries to send it to Gonzalez, and it went right through his skates. On the near side, Keedy. To the far side, Techman. Flyers finally force a turnover and slap it all the way down. That was an excellent play by Dominic Grigori. .5:45 left to go here in the third period. Flyers look to hold this one-goal lead as Brian Goot, playing physical, will force a turnover. Goot all the way down it goes. 39 seconds more on Braden Ricci's penalty. Here comes Grinton. Stops and sends it across the ice where it's gloved down by Strobe. On the near side, Kowalczyk has it stripped by Brian Goot. To the point it goes. Here's Maxwell. Walks, fires, and it's saved by Zagat. And he soaks it up and holds on. Zagat doing a good job to track that puck. It wasn't really obstructed too much on that point shot from Maxwell. As we have some line change confusion here. Back in to take the face-off is Will Grinton, who's been on the ice for the majority of this power play. Penalty over to Braden Ricci. 5-on-5 hockey. As Ernsting picks up the puck in the neutral zone. In over the line. Will fire, and it goes right into the glove of Michael Leonard, who will hold on. Looking at the roster here for the Redbirds, I talked a little bit earlier about Techman, who kind of grew up playing here. Is just after that face-off, Ernsting tried to basically skate that puck into the net. And we'll try again in the same spot. But there's a lot of local to the Romeoville area, the Chicagoland area, people on the Redbird roster. New Lenox, Chicago, Hinsdale. I'm sure a lot of these players have been playing at least in the area, if not at Canlan before, so not their first time. As the Pickens forced the turnover, tries to go to the far side corner to Fronte, but it was taken away. Here now is Gonzalez with a big drive, and not a problem at all for Zagat, who will hold on once again. 4 minutes left in this hockey game. Flyers looking for their first W of the season. Redbirds looking to continue their 2-game win streak. They had 2 wins against the University of Illinois Illini. Cross-ice pass from Dawson. Will find the stick of Grinton, who continues it down low to Techman. On the point, Montalvo will keep it right back in. Dawson is pushed off the puck by Adrian Abram, who ends up with it and will skate it out from behind his own net. Adrian Abram has a really interesting hockey story. We talked to him on the Lewis University Hockey Podcast this week, and grew up playing hockey for the Orland Park Vikings and decided he wanted to go play junior hockey down in Texas, where he played for a couple years and ended up coming back and having a conversation with head coach of Flyers hockey, Jim Swire. And here we are. Here's Logan Stumpf, is dragged down to the ice by Dawson, and negating that chance. Rebound is turned aside again by Leonard. Flyers are really good at that. They'll kind of lay dormant for what could be 5, 10, even 15 minutes, and then out of nowhere, they will have a couple quality scoring chances. We saw that right there. And that puck is dropped. 2.5 minutes left in this hockey game. I'll keep an eye to my right-hand side at Michael Leonard. See how aggressive the Redbirds get. The far side, Ulmer is pushed right off the puck. Troy Nail will send it back in. He took the puck away from Alex Kowalczyk, who was revving up the Jets in the neutral zone. Here's Keedy into the zone, centering pass, and Ernsting was on the back check and kind of got his stick in the way there. Love to see the Magic Man play on both sides of the puck. J.P. Techman had a sharp angle shot that I think hit the side of the net or was shouldered down by Zagat. Either way, in the process, Zagat pushed the net off. And because Zagat pushed the net off, the Flyers cannot commence a line change. Minute 48 left to go. It looks like the Redbirds have called timeout. Under 2 minutes left to play here. Flyers look to hold off the Redbirds. It looks like Michael Leonard is on the bench. Not sure if they will just start this power play. Not power play, but have this face-off with the empty net, with the extra attacker. This is also a break. The Flyers could not change after Zagat pushed the net off. Ernsting's been out there for a few minutes with Logan Pickens. Looks like the Redbirds will go with the extra attacker. Net to my right-hand side is empty. Can the Flyers hold it off? 108 seconds left to go. We'll find out right now. Puck is dropped. Sat there momentarily. Redbirds get through, and Zagat's forced to make a save. Not sure how. I believe that was Keedy got in kind of all by himself in the slot area, but either way, he was shut down by Zagat. Puck again is won by the Flyers, and Fronte sends it the length of the ice for an icing. You know, it's really interesting that this whole empty net scenario has changed a lot over the past couple of years. It used to be you were not encouraged to go for the empty net from your own defensive zone. You didn't want to risk the icing play, but you see that this a lot in the NHL change, and obviously you're seeing it change in college hockey as well. So just interesting to see how this game evolves. Minute and a half left in the third period. Redbirds down by 1. Puck pinned up against the boards in the far side corner. Behind the net, picked up by Logan Pickens, who can't get it out, kept in by Maxwell on the point. On his forehand, pass it across to Zorn, who will throw one. Rebound is there, it popped up into the net, and behind it goes, and is shoveled all the way out the length of the ice, and it was just wide. I believe that was Ernstein who had the bid at that one. We've seen him do it before. Would not be surprised if it happened again. Face-off won by the Flyers. Ernstein sends it the length of the ice again. No icing. Fronte won the race. Flyers retain it in their own zone. Here's Ricci. Sent up to Pickens. No icing. It was tipped. 36 seconds. One last drive for the Redbirds. Here's Maxwell. Slows it down. Will throw it in behind the net to Techman on the far side, half wall. Puck squirts out to Maxwell, and it squeaks over the blue line. 18 seconds left. Intercepted. Maxwell, and it was offsides. Much to the pleasure of the entire Lewis Flyers bench, who were on their feet to support the linesman doing his job. 11 seconds separate the Lewis Flyers from their first victory of the season. Puck is dropped, won by Ernstein, and he couldn't shovel it down. A battle ensues the near side half wall. 5 seconds left to go. Away come the Redbirds, and that will do it. Horn sounds. Flyers win here at Cantlin. Flyers get a much-needed win, as you see backup goalie Thomas Labno jump into the arms of Sam Zagat. This is a much-needed confidence boost for this Flyers hockey team. They've worked so hard in the preseason. They worked so hard last year as well, but everyone was excited for this one today. And the Flyers are rewarded for their efforts. Goals for the Lewis Flyers coming from Mike Steck on the power play. The Flyers played really well special teams-wise. They had a lot of opportunities on the power play. That'll be something that the Redbirds are looked to clean up for tomorrow. They really were playing shorthanded for the majority of that early portion of the game, and the Flyers were able to take advantage at the hands of Mike Steck. Goals also from Caden Ulmer and Flyers captain Brian Goot, who scored right after the power play concluded. Overall, for the Lewis Flyers, it was quite the matchup. Had a kind of rocky start to that third period and towards the end of the second, but were able to recover and hold off the Redbirds. Now the question is, will they be able to do the same thing tomorrow? The glorious thing about ACHA college hockey, we've got 2 games in 2 days, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here tomorrow live on the Lewis University Television Network to broadcast that game, which I am looking forward to. It should be a lot of fun. It'll be great to be back for a second one. Then we've got games next weekend against St. Norbert here in Romeoville. Again, if you're in the area, come and check it out. It's a fun time. For my dad, the camera operator, Mike Cap, I'm Logan Cap. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.